It's the 30th of January 1948, a cool winter evening in the Indian capital, New Delhi. The sun is dipping low behind the trees, casting long shadows across the gardens of Birla House. Birla House is a sprawling 12-bedroom home built by the wealthy Birla family. High-profile guests are occasionally invited to stay here, and this evening, a crowd has gathered, waiting to catch a glimpse of the latest visitor. Dozens wait quietly on the lawn. Some are barefoot, others hold prayer beads. And then, the person they're here to see steps forward. A frail figure emerges from the white bungalow. Bald head, round glasses, a thin white cotton shawl draped across his shoulders. Gandhi is walking slowly, supported by his two grandnieces, Manu and Abba. He walks this path every evening to lead a prayer meeting at 5:17 p.m. He's never late. As Gandhi makes his way down the path, another man steps forward. He's in his mid-30s, thin-built, a serene look on his face. His name is Nathuram Godse, and in his pocket is a pistol. One of Gandhi's grandnieces tries to block him. He pushes her aside and joins his hands in a polite greeting. Namaste. Gandhi stops. He recognizes this man. But before Gandhi can speak, Godse reaches into his jacket, pulls out a gun, and pulls the trigger. 3 shots. Blood spills onto Gandhi's white shawl. He collapses into Abba's arms. Some say he whispers the words, He Ram. Others only remember the silence that followed. And just like that, the man known as the Father of India is dead. Hello, my friend. I'm Aslan Pahari, and this is Assassins, the show where we tell the stories of history's most shocking assassinations. And today, an iconic figure from the 20th century, Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi's known in the public imagination for his great acts of protest, leading the struggle against the British Raj back when the Empire ruled much of the world. The colonial British are known to have executed many of those who opposed their empire. But it wasn't the British who killed Gandhi. He died at the hands of a fellow Indian, a man who had repeatedly attacked him and who Gandhi had repeatedly forgiven. So why did Mahatma Gandhi, a man famous for his non-violence, meet a violent end? Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi is born in 1869 in a small coastal town called Porbandar in present-day Gujarat. His family belongs to the merchant caste of Hinduism. His father is a politician, a respected administrator. By the time Gandhi reaches adulthood, British colonial rule has taken a firm hold of the Indian subcontinent. Taxes increase, famine spread, and colonial exploitation hardens. When he turns 18, Gandhi leaves India for the first time. Destination, London, to study law. After he graduates, he accepts a 1-year contract with a shipping company in South Africa. It's a decision that changes everything. It's 1893. At the age of 23, Gandhi is on a train holding a first-class ticket in his hand. His suit is pressed. His then full head of hair is combed. A white man sees him in the first-class carriage and raises a fuss. Gandhi is asked to move. He refuses. A police officer drags him off the train and throws his luggage onto the platform. Gandhi spends the night shivering in the waiting room. He contemplates returning to India, but instead decides to protest getting kicked off the train. And the next day, he's allowed to board it. But the experience breaks something open inside him. Over the following weeks, he faces more indignities. He's kicked by a stagecoach driver for refusing to sit with the luggage. He's denied hotel rooms, train cabins. Gandhi quickly learns that South Africa is systemically anti-Indian. But what shocks Gandhi even more than the discrimination is that most Indians living here seem to have accepted it. And so, he decides not to return to India. What begins as a 1-year legal posting becomes a 21-year struggle in South Africa. He challenges racist laws, organises petitions, and builds solidarity across classes. But Gandhi's moral compass is still developing. He's a man born into a world of empires and colonial rule, and there are a few things he still has to unlearn. For example, during his early years in South Africa, he's outraged that Indians are treated the same as black people, because he thinks Indians are superior to black Africans and should be treated better. Bit ironic for a civil rights icon. If he were protesting today, he'd be cancelled so fast. Of course, he later changed that opinion to become the Mahatma the world knows today. But Gandhi's time in South Africa also let him develop the central idea of his resistance against colonialism, Satyagraha, a Sanskrit word that means seizing or holding fast to the truth. Satyagraha is not just civil disobedience, it's resistance through personal sacrifice. You do not harm your enemy, you force them to see your dignity by refusing to obey unjust laws. The weapon isn't violence, it's suffering. Gandhi tries to put his ideas into practice by setting up an ashram near Johannesburg called Tolstoy Farm. It becomes the HQ of the Satyagraha movement. In Hindu culture, an ashram is kind of like a religious community retreat. Gandhi wants Tolstoy Farm to be an example of his vision of peaceful resistance and community-based way of living. He'd later advocate for simple village living within India too. By the time Gandhi leaves South Africa during the summer of 1914, he's led thousands in protest and been jailed several times. But Gandhi's real battle lies ahead. India is waiting. Gandhi steps off a ship in Bombay. He's no longer just a barrister, he's a spiritual figure, a political thinker, and for some, a hero. He spends his first year back in India traveling around the country, visiting villages, listening, observing, learning what his people truly need. The country is tense. British colonial power has tightened its grip. Indian soldiers are being shipped off to fight in World War I. Taxes are rising, famine is spreading. In 1919, the British passed the Rowlatt Act, allowing the government to arrest and detain Indians without trial. Gandhi calls for a nationwide strike. Across India, in every major city, Bombay, Kolkata, Delhi, Lahore, millions take part, shutting down factories, schools, and transport. Gandhi has become a symbol of moral resistance, the hope for a better life for all Indians. He's elected to the leadership of the Indian National Congress, India's first political party and the first modern nationalist movement in the British Empire. But the way Gandhi leads is different. He doesn't call for violent revolution. Instead, he urges Indians to boycott everything British. No British courts, no British schools, and no more British cloth. He's hitting the empire where it hurts most, their hip pockets. India was the empire's largest cotton producer. The British would export cotton from India, use it to produce textiles, then sell those back to Indians. So it's a big circle of profit for the British, and Gandhi wants to break it. He urges people to spin their own cotton instead, a movement so powerful it cripples the textile trade and turns the humble spinning wheel into a symbol of rebellion. Which is why, to this day, that wheel appears on the Indian flag. And yet, Gandhi is walking a delicate line. He wants to unite Hindus and Muslims and believes that Indian independence can only be achieved through religious harmony. So he starts backing campaigns led by Indian Muslims, focused on causes important to their communities, like support for the Ottoman Empire. But not everyone agrees with Gandhi's compromises. Some Hindus accuse him of pandering to Muslims, but at the same time, there are Indian Muslims who say that Gandhi didn't do enough to support them. His work to build a bridge between communities not only fails, the divide deepens. Still, Gandhi keeps pushing, using the concept of Satyagraha to advocate for his people. In 1930, he sets out on his famous Salt March, walking almost 400 kilometers to gather salt in defiance of colonial law. Salt March, you ask? Why would people be marching about salt? Well, salt's actually big business in colonial India, but the British make the extraction and sale of salt illegal, all to increase the price and maintain their monopoly. Now, this basic staple becomes unaffordable to the poor, and they're angry about it. Of course, how can you have Indian food without salt? Gandhi sets off with about 75 followers from Ahmedabad to the coastal town of Dundee. It's a 24-day journey, stopping at different villages, gathering supporters. Each night, Gandhi speaks to growing crowds about the unfairness of the salt tax, the heavy boot of the British. It's the perfect issue to unite Hindus and Muslims. At one point, Gandhi scoops a handful of salty mud and holds it up, saying, quote, "With this, I'm shaking the foundations of the British Empire." The mud is distilled to make a few ounces of salt. Showing them how easy it is, Gandhi calls on Indians to stop buying British-made salt and start making their own. Many Indians follow him, but the salt tax remains. Gandhi's practice of Satyagraha, developed in South Africa, is now being followed by hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people. But under the surface, his idea of a united India is slipping away, and Gandhi does not see it coming. It's the early 1940s. Gandhi is now in his 70s, and India is changing fast. British influence continues to weaken. World War II has drained the country's resources. The pressure to quit India is growing louder. Three Indian leaders, Nehru, Jinnah, and Gandhi, all are demanding independence. But they're not asking for the same thing. Gandhi promotes a benevolent Hindu majority, the dream of a united India built on non-violence and religious harmony. Jawaharlal Nehru, Western educated and charismatic, also wants a united India, but he desires a secular, urban democracy in a Hindu majority state. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, sharp and uncompromising, demands a separate homeland carved out for Muslims. He wants the creation of Pakistan. It's a tug-of-war for India's soul, and the Mahatma is caught in the middle. Jinnah and other Muslim leaders argue that Muslims are not just a religious group, they're a political nation, and they will not be safe in a Hindu-majority India. Gandhi is devastated. He spent his life preaching unity, but now he's watching that dream crumble. Then comes Noakhali, where Gandhi's dream begins to turn to dust. It's 1946 in the rural district of Noakhali. Homes are torched, women are raped, families are butchered in communal violence. The victims are overwhelmingly Hindu, and the attackers are overwhelmingly Muslim. Gandhi travels there. Walking from village to village, he travels alone, refusing police protection. His goal is simple: bring peace to these people. He lives with survivors, he prays, he pleads with Hindus and Muslims to forgive each other. But not everyone sees forgiveness as strength. Many see it as surrender. To Hindu nationalists like Nathuram Godse, Gandhi is no longer a savior. He's a traitor. They accuse him of fasting to protect Muslims while Hindus are massacred. The tide has started to turn. Flash forward to almost 1 year later. It's August 1947. India wins its freedom from the British. But that freedom comes at a cost. The country is split into two. India for the Hindus and religious minorities, Pakistan for Muslims. Partition proves to be the largest forced migration in history. Trains packed with refugees are ambushed, and entire caravans are wiped out. Punjab burns, Bengal bleeds, Kashmir becomes trapped. 14 million are uprooted, and nearly 1 million are butchered in massacres that scar both nations forever. The dream of peaceful independence has become a nightmare. And Gandhi, he's heartbroken. He stops eating to protest the violence. When Hindus riot in Delhi, he fasts. When Muslims are targeted, he fasts again. At 78, he has no official post, no soldiers to command. His only weapon is his body, weakened by years of fasting, sustained at times only by goat's milk. It might sound like Gandhi has been sidelined with no real power, but nothing could be further from the truth. He doesn't need a political post. He's more powerful on his own. But while millions still listen to him, one man does not. He has his own solution to save India and protect Hindus. A plan to kill. Nathuram Godse is not just a man with a gun and a grudge. He has an ideology and is stubbornly determined. Born in 1910 in a small town near Pune, Godse's parents are devout Hindus. As a teenager, he joins the RSS, a new Hindu nationalist organization that promotes the idea of India as fundamentally Hindu. Decades later, the RSS would become one of the most influential organizations in Indian politics. India's current Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, began his political life as a young volunteer in the RSS and continues to support them. To men like Godse, Gandhi is an obstacle. A saint who refuses to pick a side, who fasts for Muslim rights while ignoring Hindu deaths, who keeps forgiving those who attack Hindus. Godse believes that Gandhi's famed tolerance is in reality a threat to the Indian nation. Gandhi has to be neutralized, not silenced with words, but killed. He's willing to try as many times as necessary until he succeeds. Assassination attempt number 1, Panchgani, 1944. It's about 3 years before Partition. Godse pushes through the crowd and approaches Gandhi in the middle of a prayer meeting. There's a blade in Godse's hand. Gandhi supporters wrestle him to the ground before he can strike. As the dust settles, Gandhi tells police he doesn't want to press charges. A few months later in Bombay, Godse tries again, lunging at Gandhi with a knife. Once more, bystanders disarm him, and again, Gandhi refuses to press charges. To Gandhi, responding with violence would betray everything he stands for. To Godse, it's proof that the old man is too weak to protect the nation. Godse has twice tried to kill Gandhi, and twice he's been forgiven. And still, Godse remains convinced that Gandhi must die for the good of India. 1948. He's assembled a crew of like-minded Hindu nationalists who want to help kill Gandhi. The group acquires pistols, they scout Gandhi's prayer meetings, they study his movements. On January 20, they attempt to bomb the stage at Birla House. The explosives fail. Gandhi survives. 10 days later, they try again. This time, Godse wants to take Gandhi out himself. Third time lucky. Which brings us back to the prayer ground at Birla House on January 30th, 1948. Godse's conspirators lurk in the crowd, ready to create a distraction if needed. But this time, Godse doesn't need one. He fires 3 bullets into Gandhi's chest and stomach at point-blank range. The shots echo across the garden. Gandhi staggers, His white shawl, once a symbol of purity, becomes soaked in blood. Some say he utters the words He Ram. Others remember only a soft gasp. Gandhi collapses into Abba's arms. For a few stunned seconds, the garden is silent. And then, panic, screams. People surge forward in the chaos. Some try to reach Gandhi. Others hurl themselves at the assassin. Godse stands frozen. He makes no attempt to flee. An American diplomat grabs him by the shoulders and forces him to the ground. Why is there always an American at these things? The crowds descend, beating and kicking him until police push through and drag him away. Inside Birla House, Gandhi is carried to his room and laid on a bed. Doctors try to save him, but within minutes, it's over. At 5:40 p.m., the father of India is declared dead. News travels like lightning. In Delhi, crowds weep in the streets. In Kolkata, trams stop mid-route. In London, flags fly at half-mast, and in New York, the United Nations observes a minute of silence. But in India, mourning soon gives way to rage. Crowds turn on Hindu nationalist groups, torching their officers, beating their members. The government bans the RSS. And while India grieves, the trial of Godse begins. Godse is defiant. He claims that he alone is responsible, that no one helped or encouraged him. In court, he delivers a long speech blaming Gandhi for weakening Hindu society and appeasing Muslims. He doesn't beg for forgiveness, nor does he show regret. The trial lasts over a year. 8 men are convicted. 2, Nathuram Godse and Narayan Apte, are sentenced to death. They're to be hanged at Central Jail on November 15, 1949. Just before he's executed, Godse recites the first 4 lines of the RSS prayer. In the decades since, the organization that reared Godse, the RSS, has come in from the cold. It's not banned anymore, and one of their alumni is now running the country. These days, more members of the ruling party are starting to say what they really think about the man who assassinated Gandhi. Godse was a patriot. We should be grateful to Godse. Godse is a worthy son of India. Thank you for watching, my friend. Now, what do you think? Is Godse's image getting a complete overhaul in India? Or does Gandhi's legacy persist, even 77 years later? Let us know in the comments.